Friend groups from the outside look great, but what happens when we dive deeper within? Let's find out. The OGs are the ones who start the friend group. They make connections through their lonely little lives and find people who work with them, make them laugh, bother them, etc. Friend groups are usually formed through a shared experience. Shared experiences can be a plethora of things like school, theater, extracurricular activities, etc, etc, etc. But the OGs start a group by connecting within these areas and then hanging out 24/7. Whether that be talking in person or on the phone, the OGs tend to have the strongest connections because they've known each other the longest. So they tend to have a pretty tight grasp onto each other. The group is already formed, but y'all probably don't have a cute nickname yet. The nickname happens usually when the add-ons get into the equation. Now, I say this without any derogatory intent because the add-ons tend to bring some things to the group. They can add a sense of motherly calmness or just insanely crazy. They give the group more dynamics to work with than they did before and usually get added into the group pretty easily. And so this is where a bigger group chat forms and a cutesy nickname can now be born. Fort Moms, Dookie Faces, Lime Lickers, Doodle Bobs, Chunky Monkeys. So the group is now bigger with a cute nickname on it. Now this is usually where the conflicts begin to form within the big group. The add-ons can make things fun, but also make dynamics shift. You as an OG have already spent time with the other OGs, making links and connections stronger than others. Now when the add-ons come into the group, depending on who they're closer to, the link is already there. When and if an add-on connects even stronger with a different OG than the one that brought them in, they can become more attached to that one. Links now begin to strengthen and people find their favorites within the group. New links are established, but hanging out as a whole is no issue because you are all connected to each other one way or another. As time passes, more conflicts can arise. Beliefs can clash every once in a while, people can find annoyances in things other people do. And so the group begins to teeter-totter between hanging out as a whole and hanging out individually. You begin to see who hangs out with who. You may or may not be hanging out as a whole group anymore. You may or may not be talking to everyone all the time. But hey, you still have a kick-ass group name, Tornado Queefs. Look, the conflicts can be quite scary. People can change quite a bit and hell, they can even change how they talk to you, and you will never know why. But that's the beauty of the friend group. And half the time, you can say something else that makes someone else mad, angry, sad, the rest of the emotions on the inside outcast. And the even better part, they will never say a word to you. Now we can get a little deeper into those new links that are made. Careful now. As soon as you realize your friend group may have some issues, you may want to shut your mouth as best as you can. From my experience, listening is better than talking. Those who talk tend to have a case of serpent mouth. They begin to slither around to talk about a conflict or annoyance they have with someone to everyone in the group. Their venom spews out, and if you talk, then you will be subject to catch it. Then when and if a confrontation occurs, you, who joined in the talking behind the backs of others, will be caught in the crossfire. The best way to deal with a serpent mouth is to keep your mouth shut and just listen. So you are an OG with your pals and your group has gone from small to big. People hang out separately and the next time you hang out, you notice conflicts have arisen and people have been talking negatively behind each other's backs. And the tension is decent, though it can be awkward at times. This feels like a terrible game of D&D, without Dungeons or Dragons. Conflicts arise and can never be addressed, simply because some don't want to hurt other people's feelings and other people don't want their feelings hurt. Now let's take to the social media side. You guys have your main home-based group chat, whether it be in Instagram or through messages. As these different connections are made, more group chats are also made alongside them. Let's say we're using Instagram as our home base. When issues arise, people tend to retreat to texting individually or on the sidelines with other people. And they usually tend to talk it out there. Or they can take the more petty route and utilize the social media functions. Now I noticed something that Instagram added quite a while ago, and when it first came out, it was quite new, and it wasn't really utilized by people. People thought it was quite pointless. Ooh, how times have changed. A directed note can act as a jab, depending on what it contains. A quote, a cryptic cadence of words, a song that perhaps has some slight subliminal messaging. These are all meant to have something or some sort of meaning. It's directed towards a certain party. This directed note can be more confrontational, or it could be more mysterious. There's many ways of doing a directed note, and I've seen many. As by standards, it's quite funny to watch now, isn't it?
Yes!
This directed note is meant to jab the other party in hopes of a reaction of some sort, or even just to get people's attention towards the situation. These messy notes can lead to resolving the situation, or just making it bigger, depending on how mature both parties are. Now, an Instagram story can also act as a cryptic directed note. Stories are more popular than the note. A call between two people can then turn into a call with another two people, and the situation can just spread like a disease. And sometimes it mostly dies out until it's addressed. The group either goes back to normal, or it stays with an awkward amount of tension depending on who knows what about what situation. Your big group is now solid enough to cruise smoothly down the road. Now, as more time passes, romantic partners get into the mix. Let's call them the outsiders, as they are not an OG nor an add-on, and they have less time connecting with the others. If you're gonna say that what if the romantic partner is an OG, shut up and wait your turn, we're gonna get there soon. Now, these partners aren't necessarily with the group until everyone gets a good vibe from them. If they stay for a very long time, lots of connections can be made. If they stay for a short time, a breakup, they don't tend to stick around for long. They tend not to add much unless they're funny or have a personality to give, and most of the times they tend not to. Some of these outsiders have an interesting case where they stay even after a breakup has occurred with the person who was already in the group. These cases of them staying, they're called the lingerers, because if they stay, they're either funny, not evil, or just persistent. They're only allowed to stay after making sure that breakup was clean and mutual and nice. When the relationship partners are two people who were in the group already, things get a little weird. Links that have already occurred can shift, because if you were really close to an OG and that OG is now dating another friend in the same group that you know as well, you're gonna want to detach yourself just a little, because that duo is gonna be together forever now. They're gonna be together all the time. The Lincoln dynamic is gonna shift based on the weight of the new partnership, and it's gonna go from duo to trio, depending if you want to be a third wheel or not. Now, when and if a breakup occurs, then it's going to create some awkward tension for everyone else, because y'all are still going to be hanging out as a group. But now these two who were together are not together anymore, and they're going to have like this weird, awkward vibe with each other. So just be careful for that. Such is the beauty of partnership. The other genre of the outsider is called the unknown. This entity can come from a mutual connection between an OG and add-on, anyway, someone who they are trying to bring in. No one knows. They're trying to bring in this unknown person, right? That's where this entity spawns in from. Symptoms of having an unknown can include consistently talking about them to the group, asking to add them in a group hangout, having them tag along with you to a hangout and them consistently staying by your side, adding them to a group hangout, consistently talking positively about them to your group, forgetting about other friends only to include this one, looking past any red flags that the unknown may show. This outsider comes into the group via one person and slowly becomes a member at some point. Some of the group may vibe with them, some may not, but the one who brought them in can be blinded by their newfound friendship and not notice any of the bad vibes they're putting out. Please be wary with unknowns, also known as outside mutuals, people who aren't connected to your usual environment. They can be the nicest person to you and still do a 180, causing your friend group to be put at risk. Keep them at a safe distance until your friends decide that this person has no bad intentions and that everyone is open to accepting them into their environment. Speaking from experience, you want to keep a good distance until everyone has confirmed their acceptance of this person. Your big group now has a nickname, conflicts, separate group chats, and no plans to hang out all together in the near future. An outsider is brought into the group. An OG is dating an outsider. Two OGs are dating each other, and another two are unsure of what their feelings are for each other. Everyone in the same place at the same time. And you know all the lore from all sides. Knowing all the lore that is conflicting with your group, you are now tasked with being quiet, sitting back and watching war happen. You go into a state of mind and body called purgatory. You watch from outside your body as people avoid each other purposely, on accident, misunderstandings, and just a whole lot of messy caca has been explored throughout this hangout. Your friend group is now crumbling and you are tasked with being a sitting duck and watching it happen. This does not happen to all friend groups, okay? I'm not saying this happens to every friend group. This is just from experience. I do understand the dynamics of friend groups and seeing other friend groups crumble. I personally have experience to talk about this on on camera. Now, I'm not saying this is how all friend groups operate, but at some point, a piece of this is gonna happen to you. A friend group will hit one of these stages, and whether or not be a bad or good thing, it's up to the people themselves. Purgatory in this sense is built for those people who have no idea what is going on with their friend group, but also know every single thing that's happening. It's a very confusing sense and place to be in, albeit, but it is more fun if you aren't in any of the drama that is currently occurring. Purgatory is not for the weak, okay? You are constantly trying to figure out whose side is right and whose side is wrong and what is happening in the situation exactly. You're trying to get all the details from each side, get info so that you can put them together. So everything is in place for your brain, for you just to not say anything. You're trying to do all this while also trying not to pick sides and seeming like you don't know anything. You don't know who knows what. You must keep all your bases covered. It's like you're seeing every piece of information that comes in through your brain. You're hologramming it out. You gotta see which other pieces, and you gotta just sit there. Once you get a handle of it, you can sit back and live in peace while the others crumble in chaos. It's a lot of effort, but I sense you'll get there. Depending on who in the friend group you are, I'm keeping it simple for those who are like moi and get a little bit of everything, every bit of information from different pieces, different sides at different times. So hell, this could be a conflict happening, let's say winter, and then you don't get the full story until summer. That's how long these conflicts go on for. And if you are in a friend group, people are trying to keep it cordial at all times. So this is not going to be a discussion. It's not going to be like, oh, let's talk. You know, I think it's very mature of us to talk it out. No, this is going to be a whole thing. It's going to be messy. It's going to be talked about, and depending on how big the situation is, it's going to be chaos. If someone's in the wrong, you post them on your story. You got to change things on the socials. You got to choose who is on what. You got to choose who's viewing my story. You got to choose that. It's a lot, but that is the beauty of the friend group. A lot of people do friend groups. A lot of people do friend groups with cute nicknames, and let me tell you, from the ones I've heard, it gets a little crusty in there. It gets a little rusty, okay? And half the time, y'all aren't even hanging out as a full friend group because people got things to do. People got places to be. Now, y'all can consider yourself as a friend group, but when it comes down to it, if y'all are talking crap about each other consistently behind each other's backs, it's not a friend group. It's just a cycle of snakery. I do have respect for the people who keep up a face, though. I do have a respect for those people who don't comment on any bad things that happen within their friend group because they're trying to keep it cordial, or they're trying to keep a face for the outside of the world so that they could be like, oh, I really envy your friend group. Girl, you don't know what's going on inside the friend group. I don't know how long y'all keep that up for, but your hair is definitely gonna fall out anytime soon. I am a friend who cares about everyone. I include everyone, people who are nice, people who are kind. That's what I will say. Now, I have been put into friend groups before, but usually I end up being the outsider. Having a group full of people who keep quiet and never address a certain topic or issue and just let things fly by, you're gonna age yourself by 20 years, let me tell you. I'm not evil, I'm knowledgeable. I made the bombs.